Welcome to the Secret Sales Coach podcast. I'm Peter Anthony and I'm joined by your other secret sales coach, Clive Wilkinson. And today we're talking about a crucial topic in sales now, which is how AI has changed the sales environment. So I'm keen to learn from you, Clive. What do you think's changed and what hasn't changed in the sales environment as a result of AI?
Well, I think, Peter, that AI has had probably the most dramatic impact on the sales organization of anything over the last 20, 30, 40 years. What it's enabled salespeople to do is get access to information, provide much more output-based proposals to clients, get a better understanding of their clients. So it's having a dramatic effect. There will be things, though, that still as relevant today as they were in the past, which is still creating those relationships that differentiate you from your competition. So yes, it's having a dramatic effect, almost on everything. The sales cycles are getting longer, budgets are getting tighter. Part of all of that is because of AI. Most companies now are really trying to understand what AI really is and how it can have a positive effect on them and their organization and their clients. And so, sales is part of that. It can have a dramatic positive impact on sales. Because things we talk about is when you hear, is AI going to replace salespeople? No, it's not, but it will replace the salespeople who are not using AI. And so it means that you really have to understand AI and take advantage of it to provide a better level of service, a higher quality level of service to your customers.
Absolutely. And the other aspect of that too is that the buyers are better informed now. It's much easier for a buyer to understand what each of the competitors are offering and get in-depth analysis of each, and even to write prompts at AI about what they're looking for, their decision criteria, if you like, and ask AI to assess what each of the competitors may or may not be offering in that space. So one of the challenges for salespeople is having much better informed buyers, like right through the organization, senior buyers, technical buyers, commercial buyers. They're all much better informed, which do you think that will be a challenge for many salespeople, Clive?
I think it's a very important point you raise here, that not only can the level of service be enhanced by AI for the salespeople, with the buyers having equal access to AI and the information, they can deep dive down onto what their real requirements are, uh, who they should be inviting to tender for their business, and then start to use it to evaluate sellers. So I think it will have a tremendous impact. But what it's also done is there was some research done fairly recently, and it said 75% of clients are now saying they would prefer a rep-free buying cycle. So they don't need the reps there. We've had that a little bit in the past when telesales started to get some prominence. They used to say, I don't actually want my an account manager, probably a C account, so a low priority account. They see me once or twice a year. They've never got the information I need on hand. So I think I prefer telesales, who they'll call me once a month. They've got the information at their fingertips. And so they can provide a better level of service for a lower cost, which means hopefully I, as the client, will benefit from that.
Mm.
Now, with AI, that's taken that to the next level to say, well, the client's got far better information than they've ever had access to. So it's starting to then say, well, what is going to differentiate this company from that company beyond the product or service?
Mm.
Because by the time they contact you, they have a pretty good understanding of what they have to offer.
Exactly. And I think what you're talking about there, Clive, really is that one of the big changes with AI in the sales environment is that average is a lot easier now. I mean, if you think about if I were to be an average salesperson and I've got ChatGPT or I've got Google Gemini, whatever my favorite AI tool may be, being an average salesperson gets a lot easier because I can do my research as a salesperson. I can send proposals that are written by AI. I can answer questions with AI. So average average is a lot easier. So in lots of ways, the floor gets raised so that there's more average because it's easier to be average.
Yeah.
You could almost enter now. Like I know a lot of, say, like in technical sales environments, like say for example in pharmaceutical sales or medical sales, it usually requires a lot of technical knowledge to sell those areas. Now you could using AI, you can get that technical knowledge and have much less personal experience, so that floor now gets a bit higher, so average gets a bit easier, don't you find?
Yeah, it certainly leveled the playing field
Yeah, yeah.
because people have access to all this information. Also, because it's getting better and better, the information that you can get and more personalized, you can then provide a much more personalized solution service to your clients, which will start to differentiate. But as you say, if others have access to that same type of information, then where is the differentiation going to be?
Mm,
Yes, it will be part of, are you using AI to the degree that you could be using it? It's like I've got a mobile phone like most people have. I probably get 20 or 30% of its real capabilities. And so I'm sure that's going to be the same with AI, that we'll get some of the AI capabilities, we'll get onto ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever it may be, and we'll use it. Others will use it even more so to have a much more data-driven response to the client's needs. And so you'll be able to differentiate yourself by using AI. So even though it's a level playing field and say the average has gone up, but it also highlights what else is going to differentiate you from your competition.
And one of the key I guess, sales skills now is to be a competent user of AI in the sales environment, because like any other tool, like you mentioned, mobile phones. I'm old enough to remember when there wasn't mobile phones around, and you think, well, you think of all these sales tools that most salespeople are using. They're using phones, they're using PCs, they're using internet, all those great tools. AI is one more tool. If you're a well-intentioned, hardworking salesperson, you could do a lot more research on your client and prospective clients using AI by finding like are there similar needs, similar environments, similar industries, similar companies that face similar sorts of problems in other parts of the world, and get a lot of really great research that would have been really probably impossible to find in even a year ago. Now, there's a lot more of that at your fingertips if you're writing good prompts and you're using AI properly, you can provide great value. But then the customer can do the same thing, right? The customer could be asking the same thing and asking the same thing about competitors and working out, like, of all the organizations in the world that have this similar sorts of problem, which competitors were the ones that solved it the best. So for buyers and the sellers, the average gets higher, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also, I think what it does is it increases the client's expectations of you. And so they're expecting you to use these tools. They're expecting you to have much more output based proposals, much more customer aligned type correspondence with them. So, they may have expected this from you in the past. I'm now expecting this from you
Mm-mm.
because you have access to these tools. What it'll mean, and we'll talk about it a bit more on the podcast, is the salespeople who respond to that in a positive way are the ones who are going to start to thrive in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
environment.
yeah. And it may even be too, when you think about most sales organizations have sales support or sales analysis as part of the group, you think that role might be more threatened because a lot of that analysis can be done by the salespeople themselves as opposed to the analysts or support people working with them.
We used to, look back 25, 30 years when CRM, the client relationship management, came out. And a lot of salespeople were very reluctant to put
Yeah,
their client data in there until they realized that it could really enhance the way they manage their territories, accounts, and opportunities.
yeah,
To this day, a lot of the information in CRM systems is inaccurate, it's not up to date. But what AI does to things like CRM systems and workflows is it puts them on steroids. It enables you to analyze your sales cycle, enables you to look at the various points that you can impact and to ultimately improve your conversion rate. So it's a great tool to be able to use. And I say, things like CRM system with AI tools will have a dramatic effect on a salesperson's performance,
Yeah.
but also on the client's expectation.
Yeah, it's a great analogy because I remember when CRM first came in too, and a lot of average salespeople felt very threatened because a lot of them were actually telling the truth, right?
Mm,
About that all these like mythical opportunities, and they're having these meetings with mythical people. It wasn't real.
yeah.
I really enjoyed CRM because, as you know, I'm not great with like procedures and processes and things. So I really liked it because it took that part of my job away, which I didn't like. I wasn't very good at, and it left me more free with the face-to-face stuff. I could just enter the right metrics into a CRM, and it would run, or not run my opportunities, but it would help me have a better view of opportunities. And I think AI would be very similar for the better salespeople or the people that are interested in working a little harder. I guess the people most threatened would be the people that don't embrace it or don't really want to
Yeah.
use it properly.
As we always say, process asks the hard questions that we don't ask of ourselves, or even our
Yeah, yeah,
managers don't
yeah,
ask of
yeah,
us.
yeah.
If there is a box there in the CRM system that asks for a response, you've got to put it in there. You can't just, fly on the seat of your pants on these things, because you'll be found out very, very quickly.
That's right. But particularly, yeah, particularly if you
You
work in
don't
an
have
environment where you've got multiple opportunities, it's really, really tricky to manage all of them and work out like what are my high leverage activities right now. So CRM would answer that question, and you think, well, maybe if you're a smart salesperson using CRM in conjunction with AI, like with a great AI tool, may be really effective for you.
Yeah, yeah. I think it will, as you mentioned, the average salesperson, it will certainly help them. It will help all salespeople, but the ones who embrace it will get the most benefits. So, Pete, given that background of how AI is impacting the sales organization and the sales environment, where do you see salespeople currently getting distracted or stuck within it?
Yes. When I see salespeople stuck, Clive, I see them getting too much information that is irrelevant and getting bogged down in a lot of background and a lot of text, a lot of research, a lot of articles, which actually slows them down. That they have far too much content, far too much. Oftentimes they'll use two or three different AI platforms. They might use ChatGPT, they might use Gemini, might use Grok and others, and asking very generic questions and getting bogged down with pages and pages and pages of content, which is only confusing for them. It makes it harder. So that's
Yeah.
the biggest one I see. What about you, Clive?
Well, it is funny. It highlights the old saying we've had for many, many years in sales. 80% of the information we have, we don't need, and the 20% we need, we can't find. And so what it does, it just extrapolates that into an even bigger issue, because there's so much information, and depending on the prompts you put in with AI, it will give you more and more information, which is great. But at some stage, you've got to stop and pull yourself back and actually do something. Have
Yeah.
that for action to get something done.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's one of the issues, I think, is that there is so much information there.
Mm.
Is what is relevant to what I need to do. But when you think about why clients buy, they buy for two reasons: solve a problem or help them realize an opportunity.
Exactly.
So start to think about, well, what is the problem or problems they're trying to solve, and see how you can help them do that. Or what are the opportunities they're trying to realize, and then see how you can help with that. So I think you're going to need to really refine your prompts to get really good high quality information, not bucket loads of it.
Exactly. Exactly. The other thing I find distracting with sales, what people get distracted by in sales environments is they use AI as an excuse not to take the next step with the customer. Because a lot of salespeople, as we know, like to delay that customer contact or delay those meetings, delay those calls, delay doing what they know they need to do when they need to do it. And they use AI as one more reason to delay. I think that's so it could actually get in the way of the relationship. They get distracted by all these pretty AI tools and forget that their core job is that client relationship and uniquely understanding their needs. And that's all about having regular contact with the client.
It is, we've always known having the right relationships with the right people is a differentiator. Some salespeople feel more comfortable in their own office rather than clients. AI is helping you in your own office, but it does help you at the client's office as well. Being able to ask the right questions, be able to understand the client's environment more. So we can still use it there, but relationships are still key. A lot of salespeople struggle, always have struggled, being able to add value beyond their product or service.
Yeah.
They can talk about the features and benefits of their product or service, and they're pretty good at it. But that isn't quite what the client wants. What the client wants is that how do you address the issues or the options I'm faced with my environment? Link what you're selling with what I need as a buyer. And so a lot of salespeople have issues with that. And say, the stress gets heightened when you're actually in front of the client, having to ask those types of questions.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I think the other distraction to Clive is I find is that a lot of salespeople they think they're allowing the AI to do the thinking for them. And
Yeah.
what I would remind salespeople about is that you have a unique way of understanding the client and the client's environment, and that's what the client values most. So you're not outsourcing thinking and client understanding and client relationship to AI. Really, you're really outsourcing the research aspect of your job, which for a lot of salespeople is their least favorite anyway. Like doing all
Yeah.
that all that research. So if you're writing your prompts properly and you're using AI well, it will be a great support for you because it'll free you up to spend more time face to face or talking with your client.
I think it's becoming more and more intuitive. So it can help you, it can come up proactively with things for you, but it's not going to replace humans with
Yeah,
the way we think, the way we act. And so it's going to enhance, it'll enable things. It won't replace in that sense. So I think with sales people, given that changing environment, and certainly changing sales environment, partly and it's quite dramatically driven by AI, then they need to keep improving their skills to be able to compete in that environment. It's the old saying of, given all the changes that have happened, let's say in the last 2 years, if you're still selling the way you were 2 years ago, you're potentially standing still or going backwards. So I think what is happening with companies now, they're now starting to look at, well, we need to constantly upskill our people. Certainly, we need to upskill them in the use of AI tools. And it's not just roll out ChatGPT to everyone. We need to upskill them, but also it highlights the need to be able to have effective meetings, be able to influence people, be able to present persuasively, be able to sell to not only the perceived needs, but also the unperceived needs. So, and that's partly why, we set up this company, Secret Sales Coach, to really help people be able to do that and help individuals as well as companies be able to do that. Because if you're in charge of your skills and your skills development, then you're going to need to keep sharpening the tool to be able to ensure that you're adding value and more value than you did, let's say, 2 years ago.
exactly, exactly. And that's exactly why we've developed a specific training course, a training program to help you understand exactly what you need to do, what sort of activities you need to put in place, what sort of thinking and mindset you need to put in place to thrive in this new sales AI environment. And we'll provide you with a link at the end of the podcast today if you're keen to learn more about that, to definitely have a good look at it because it's something that I think you'll find really valuable.
I think, with that, one of the things we've looked at, and you and I have run training programs that have run for days and sometimes weeks, with our clients in the past. What we've decided to do now with the online training, self-paced training, is have 45-minute training programs that really get to the heart of
Mm.
what's going on. So with the new sales in the AI environment, it's going to help them understand what that environment and what the changes are in that environment. And then how do you best work within that environment to drive more sales, improve your conversion rates, your win rates, etc. So really encourage people to get on board with that one. But we'll talk about that more at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So, what sort of salespeople do you think may thrive in this new AI environment, Clive?
Well, you know, partly the ones that thrived in the previous one, which
Yeah.
is, the first fundamental thing is, salespeople need to do is segment their territories to make sure that they're talking to the right customers. So being able to segment your territories into your A accounts, your top accounts, your B accounts, and your C accounts, the low priority accounts. It's so critical because for every hour you spend on your C account, you're not spending on your A account, which are the ones that you've decided has the most future potential, or your B accounts as well. So it's sort of like high potential, medium potential, low potential. A lot of salespeople spend too much time on low potential. Maybe they bought a lot last year and have no intention of buying much this year, and yet still allocate them the same amount of time. So doing that segmentation is one of the key things that good salespeople do. Now, the
Mm-mm.
ones who are going to thrive in this environment, partly as we've talked about before, it's going to be a much more data-driven environment, both for the seller and the buyer. It's being able to use that data to be able to enhance the quality of your deliverables, enhance the personalized nature of your deliverables, how you work effectively with clients. I think good salespeople will take that on board and really run with it. You'll have
Yes.
the not so good salespeople saying these are the reasons why I can't, and that's
Mm.
always been the case.
The other person that will thrive in this environment is the salesperson that's good at building trusting relationships. And that's one thing AI can't do is it can't build a relationship with somebody. And if you think about these clients, these prospective clients, they're looking for someone that they feel uniquely understands them and their environment. Now, you might use the AI for all the data and research and information that you may need. That AI can't give a client feeling. Only you can help them feel understood and feel like they can trust you to deliver the sort of outcomes. Because when you think about this sales relationship, it's like the client is giving you money now on the promise of a future benefit, like as a result of what you'll be doing. So a lot of trust there, and that's I think the high quality salespeople now were the ones that can build those high trusting relationships with their clients.
Or maybe they can't at this stage, but they need help to be able to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's
yeah,
really what we're here for, is to be able to help them be able to build those trusting relationships. Certainly AI can help you prepare for those meetings. It can help you position your products or services. It can help you understand the client's environment. But as you say, once you're in front of the client or on phone to the client, then it's around feelings. It's really around understanding the other person and aligning with them. So the really good salespeople will thrive in this environment because they've got more tools to help them, but
yeah.
they continue to leverage the skills they have or they can acquire to be able to differentiate themselves with the relationship.
Yeah, yes. And the other one that will thrive, obviously, is the one that uses AI the best for their clients, because, I mean, we can't ignore it. That would be peril. So it'd be embrace it, understand how to write high quality prompts that work for you and make it work to your benefit. They'll be the guys that thrive, the people that use it the best for their clients.
Yeah, that is right. It's really staying relevant to the
Mm-mm.
client. A lot of clients are saying these days, well, 2 years ago, yeah, you were relevant to me, but I'm not too sure you are now. And so then they ask three subsequent questions. One, do you understand my business? Do you understand the issues that I faced and the opportunities I'm trying to realize? So current state. Two, can you paint a picture of the future that's a better future than I can get to alone or with someone else? And three, can you build me the roadmap to get from A to B? So where I am today to this future nirvana. That's what the clients are looking for now. That's what the salespeople need to be able to do. If you're still flogging your products and services, your benefits, features, then you're going to struggle in this new environment.
Yes,
So
yes.
you really need to pick up on how AI can help you, but really make sure that you have the skills or you can acquire the skills to be able to be at your best in front of the client.
Yes, yes. And I like thinking about competitors too and thinking, I wonder what my competitors are using AI for and that they're using it to get ahead of me. So I'm thinking I've got to really embrace this and learn how to do it, use AI as best as possible. And that's one more reason to consider the 45-minute AI program that works for you as your secret sales coaches, to give you those tactics and those skills that you need that you can start using right away to dramatically improve just how effective you are with your clients. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, or I don't need an average rep. I don't need an average rep because I can jump on as the client. I can jump on my AI and I can find out all the things the average rep can tell me. It is. But the AI, I mean, the great rep or the great salesperson, they bring that understanding. They're asking the high quality questions. They're bringing the experience of other similar clients and similar problems they've worked with in the past. That's the sort of thing that the AI can't do. So that's something that it's basically about moving from good to great, isn't it? Moving to that great space, which is more enjoyable too as a salesperson. Well, the first one I'd suggest, since I know the program, is to definitely do our 45-minute AI readiness program. Definitely do that. That's a no-brainer. That's something that you must do to get tactically ready for this new environment. That'd be number one for me. What about for you, Clive? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I would suggest is learn how to make AI work best for you. Like learn specifics, like understand how prompts work in AI. And maybe if you've got 4 or 5 clients, maybe each client is a separate project within your AI and you've got separate prompts for each of those. And when you're with AI, use it within those particular clients so that it's AI is learning about you and your client relationship, that it becomes more of a partner to you or a supporter for what it is that you're doing. I'd say learn AI really well in your particular environment. And you can actually use AI to help you. You can actually ask AI to help you learn how to use it better. It's really quite bizarre. That little circle goes on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Or easier than your competitor. If the competitive rep is using AI better than you, they're going to get a leg up on you. So it's like any other tool. You've got to learn how to use it as good or better than your competitors are doing. And I like to think competitors are always there because that makes me bring my A game to what I'm doing for the client. The other way it can help you too is it can help you follow up with the client. If you take good notes from your client meetings, or whether they're electronic, you're doing it online, or electronic tools, or you're taking like handwritten notes in a face-to-face meeting, you can input those notes back into your AI and help you make higher quality next steps, whether that's helping you with proposals or helping you frame the next step in that sales process. Because some sales processes take a couple of years, some are a few months. We're aware of that. It'll just help you get that next step refined a bit better. Yeah, 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 that's right. Yes, yeah, exactly. So we encourage you to do that program. Obviously, we are the Secret Sales Coaches, and we like to provide you with high quality content that's going to be relevant for your role. If you've got other ideas as a salesperson in the AI environment, just drop them in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you next time on the Secret Sales Coach podcast.